This video is all about the fact that there is a scam product going around online in July 2026 called IQ Honey. So if you're looking for IQ Honey reviews, IQ Honey supplement reviews, capsules, pills, whatever, something for Alzheimer's, dementia, brain fog, memory loss, I want to tell you about this because there are a lot of scams going around this year in 2026 claiming that there is a recipe or a mixture that can help reverse Alzheimer's and dementia, right? And there are recipes supposedly involving honey or some other ingredient that if you mix them together with the right amounts, you can create a mixture that can help you overcome Alzheimer's and dementia. These are all scams. These are very, I don't know the word fancy, complex scams put together a lot of time and effort and mental energy from the scammers to make you think that this is a real thing and that people like Steve Martin and Bill Gates or other celebrities, famous doctors like Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Dr. Oz, Dr. Phil, someone like that, some people like that have involvement and it's all a scam. One of the product names I'm going to talk about today is IQ Honey. It's just the latest name where scammers, likely from Brazil, maybe somewhere else, some of the marketing is definitely coming from Brazil, have switched up the name from like Brain Honey or Cogna Honey, like cognition, right? Cogna Honey. And now it's IQ Honey. They just keep changing the name over and over again to try to fool you into thinking that it has credibility. And you might be saying, well, why would they change the name over and over? I don't understand why they would do that. Because if they come up with a new name and you type that new product name into Google and there's nothing there, they can dominate searches for that so that if you, a potential victim of this scam, go and search for it, you'll find the scam content first until someone like me makes a video or an article, comes in behind that and tries to keep people away from it. My name is Jordan Lyles. I'm a senior reporter for the fact-checking website Snopes.com. This is my personal YouTube channel. I come here on nights and weekends to help consumers stay away from scams, especially people older in age. And these Alzheimer's and dementia scams, there's so many of them. And the reason they promise a recipe and then they offer pills, you might be wondering on that. Like, why does it end up being a bottle of pills when they at first said it's a recipe? The way this works, it begins in an article that goes to a long video on a website. And then it goes to the product page where you'll buy the pills, right? But you shouldn't buy them, just making sure. The reason why they promise a recipe at the beginning of the long video, if they tell you it's a bottle of pills at the beginning of an hour-long video, you're probably not going to watch it. But if they say, hey, we've got a mixture that Bill Gates or some scientist or doctor or someone that you've heard of came up with, and you have the ingredients in your house right now, we're going to reveal them to you in the next few minutes, then the scammers know you're probably going to stick around. That's why they do that. And at the end, it's a bottle of pills. And you might be wondering, well, why does anyone end up buying the pills at the end of the process? I don't understand, right? Because they put in that hour watching a video and the scammers, for whatever reason, know that if people invest time like that, they're probably going to end up buying the pills because near the end of the video, it claims that someone, Bill Gates or whoever, developed this recipe that they kept talking about into a pill form, and then they want you to go buy the pills. And you should not do that for several reasons. First off, it's not going to do anything. These products do not work. If they did work, you would find it at the very least on independent or obscure blogs, right? Maybe not mainstream news, sure, but like you'd find it on an independent blog that's trying to blast out the information or on social media anywhere, right? And it's not that. You can't find it anywhere. Also, these sorts of scams will charge you subscription charges of hundreds of dollars a month. And that's the whole goal of this. It is a carefully packaged product pitch to defraud you based upon coming up with something so that someone, that being the scammers, can obtain money from you every month by hundreds and hundreds of dollars, hoping you don't look at your credit card statement, I suppose. And for this, they package it as pills that can solve Alzheimer's and dementia. And it's all a scam. That's all this is. People looking to defraud you. So they decide, let's do this fake Alzheimer's dementia scam proposal, make it really complex, have an article, have a really long video. And in the really long video, they show Steve Martin, Bill Gates, whoever, with deepfake AI technology, meaning, and I saw Meryl Streep as well, meaning that basically they use technology to make it look like these famous people are talking about the product and honey and Alzheimer's and dementia, and they never did. So that's what that is. Meryl Streep, Bill Gates, Dr. Sanjay Gupta, Steve Martin have nothing to do with any of this. And you might be wondering, okay, how come no one's suing, Jordan? I don't know. I mean, it could be that there are so many scams out there, it's not worth the celebrity or the doctor's time and effort, money. Maybe they don't know how to find the scammers, whatever it may be, right? I mean, I know how to find the scammers. Some of them are coming from Brazil. That's pretty easy. You just go and find the page transparency information under a Facebook page advertising these products. And if you don't want to trust that, go to the Google Ads Transparency Center and you can look and you'll find Brazil with a company name that's supposedly verified. So someone should be able to go after them legally. And I guess that doesn't happen that often for whatever reason. But the video that I saw after the Steve Martin article said, top U.S. neurologist confirms Alzheimer's can be reversed in 45 days with this cinnamon and honey ritual, no drugs, no injections. And it appeared on a fake CNN Health website. You can see right here that it's got Meryl Streep, and she doesn't look quite right, does she? Look at her face. There's something a little off, right? That's because it's an AI-generated face. I think that they took that from whenever she was making a speech at the Oscars a few years ago. Like, why does her body keep going like this? You see, like this? It doesn't look natural. And after the video ends, it'll try to pitch you on bottles of IQ Honey. The bottles look just like Brain Honey. They just changed the name. It says it's a brain health supplement, and it's not going to do a thing at all. And it's going to claim it's FDA approved, and it's not. It's going to say that it has a money-back guarantee. They're probably not going to honor that. It's a scam, of course. Maybe they'll honor it to keep the heat off of them, to keep law enforcement off their trail, maybe. But likely, you're not going to get your money back. It doesn't make any sense to get your money back. I also noticed on the same website, it mentioned a Cogna Honey mailing address, like email address, that is. And so that they forgot to change that, which is funny. It shows that it used to be Cogna Honey, just like I said. Talks about IQ Honey and how it's going to work for you. And they have scientific references and whatever. And so you get to the very last step on a website where you can buy the product, a website that offers goods that you can buy, if you understand what I'm trying to say. And that website, which seems like a good website to buy from because they have good Trustpilot reviews, the checkout page, which offers a bunch of different goods you can buy, has a fake review score of 9.6 out of 10. And it says it has 36,632 reviews. It doesn't. And a whole lot of other stuff that just is not true. And that website, under the Buy Now button, far under that, I noticed that under that, way below that, below photos, whatever, something you're not going to see, there's a pre-checked box that is already checked that says, by placing an order, you acknowledge you've read and accept our terms and conditions and refund policy. And that appears, again, way below the button where you're going to actually hit to buy the product. And again, don't buy the product. So it's hidden far down the page on purpose. And anyone can deny that all they want. But why is it that far down? Why isn't it more transparent? It drives more purchases, more conversions, as people would say in the digital marketing world, right? Digital marketing speak. So I hope that my videos helped you. I wanted to explain this all the way through, not just about IQ Honey, but this is a long-running scam that is taking people for thousands of dollars in some cases. People who don't have a whole lot of money to burn. And the advertising platforms, like let's say Meta or Taboola, which Taboola is an advertising network that places ads on websites. Of course, Meta owns Facebook and Instagram. They have their own advertising network. The website that you're on right now, they have their own network as well through Google. And what else? There's also TikTok. These companies accept money from scammers to allow fraud to thrive while at the same time pretending in their terms and conditions and PR statements that they really care about, fighting against scams. Talk is one thing, walk is the other, right? Talk is talk, walk is walk. And what I see these days over and over again are advertising platforms putting their hands up. They don't say this, but they're basically putting their hands up saying, hey, we don't have time to check all these ads. How are we supposed to hire people to do that? Because that would take a lot of money. You use the money that's coming in for your ads. That's how you do it. But they're not going to do that, in my opinion, because they want to make as much money as possible, no matter how many people it hurts. Let's be real, right? And that's the way things are. Law enforcement, the government, no one's doing anything. These tech companies are just bringing in money to their advertising platforms. It's insane. It's really, really sad. And Reuters tried to cover this. They did cover it months and months ago. If you just look up on, go to Google, type Reuters Meta ads scams, you'll find an investigation that they did. And nothing came of it. And big surprise, nothing came of it. There was a PR statement there from Meta trying to explain it away as well. It's really sad. I see so many scams online, especially through Meta. And I don't want to see you get scammed. This video went on a long time. I hope that you appreciate it, enjoyed it. It's boring. It's a subject that's not very interesting, but I am trying to save people from this. Do not fall for these Alzheimer's and dementia scams. People are trying to defraud you. Go see a doctor. That's the most important thing. And I get people in my comments sometimes saying, Jordan, you're telling us to stay away from scammers, but Jordan, doctors are scammers. Big pharma are scams. Hold on. It is much better to drive your car or have someone drive you to a doctor in your town and talk to them, a credible medical professional, than it is to go and fall for an online scam partially or in whole coming from Brazil from people trying to defraud you without offering you anything that has credibility. At least some of the stuff doctors are offering has some sense of credibility, even if it's not quite to the point of being a cure. Thank you for watching.